Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Hello and welcome into Wahpeton, North Dakota. NDSCS, the host campus here for the Region 1 tournament. I'm Jacob Tenson, joined alongside Joe Stetz and Derek Zimmerman-Geyer. And we will have a doozy one, 2 versus a 3 seed here in Region 1 action. The number 2 seed Kindred Vikings versus the number 3 seed, the Northern Cass Jaguars. The Kindred Vikings won their first game of the playoffs just yesterday, defeating Sargent County with a score of 76-42. Just really a dominant performance from them, basically from the tip. Started off with an 11-2 run. Abby Dutra having herself a typical game for her, 20 points, averages 20 points on the season. And then Casey Burner, the sophomore, a surprising game for her, 25 points, only averages 12.3. But the sophomore had an incredible game from the three-point line, 5 3-pointers, 4 of those coming to open up that third quarter. As for the Northern Cass Jaguars, they defeated Richland with a score of 59-46 yesterday. A game that went back and forth. They let Richland back into it. It was about a 6-point game at one point. They had previously led that game about 16, 17 points that whole game until about the third quarter. They brought it back a little bit, but they were able to hold off for the win. So once again, you're watching your live event. So thank you for watching. A couple players to watch here in between Haley Crockett for the Northern Cass Jaguars. And then for the Kindred Vikings, like we said, Abby Dutra averages 20 points per game. She's a player to watch, a D1 commit for the Alabama softball team. Not just a great basketball player, but also an incredible softball player is Abby Dutra. And Taryn Johnson also for the Vikings. But then also keep in mind Casey Burner, 25 points yesterday, so maybe we'll keep that burning sensation going for her with those 3-point shots. The broadcast of this tournament game has been authorized by a special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. Number 2 versus number 3, Kindred versus Northern Cass. This should be a good game. They actually just met a couple days ago, exactly 8 days ago, if we're being exact. Kindred won that matchup 74-41, and that was only one of 2 losses in Region 1 action for the Northern Cass Jaguars. The other loss coming to the team that you just watched, the Central Cass Squirrels. That one a score of 66-51. So that last game, Central Cass winning over Wyndmere Lidgerwood. It was a very interesting game. It went back and forth. Central Cass able to hold on. They let the Wyndmere Lidgerwood get back within 5 points, but were able to get that 49-38 win. We'll come right back here with more of a recap. You're watching yourliveevent.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Efficiencies are critical, which is why you need a lender who will find the right loan structure for a strong financial future. You need a lender to look out for your whole farm operation. Ag Country. Experts in every field.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local planter experts. Tune up, add up, the math is simple. Every additional percentage of meter accuracy adds a bushel or 2 more per acre. While they should run at 98% or better, many do not. That's why no matter who made them, no matter their type, every meter should be calibrated every year. Keep your meters in top-notch shape. Call RDK at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter maintenance today.
Hello and welcome back into the campus of NDSCS here in Wahpeton, North Dakota. We're sponsored by the SES Vanderhav pregame show. SES Vanderhav is a leading global player in the sugar beet seed sector and seed industry. We specialize in every aspect of sugar beet seed production, from the development of new and more resistant varieties right through to the final blue and metallic red U.S. seeds. Their phone number is 701-373-8115. Website www.sesvanderhav.com. SES Vanderhav, a passion that grows. So thank you to our sponsors, especially the SES Vanderhav pregame show here. And like I said, this should be a good matchup between two teams that like to run a lot. We'll hear that a little bit in our interviews here in the pregame show from both Coach DC Lucas of the Northern Cass Jaguars and Coach Sam Brandt of the Kindred Vikings. Both teams, like we said, like to run, so I might be out of breath halfway through, so Joe Stett's going to have to catch me up a little bit on my breath. Hill's going to have to talk a little bit. So we welcome on Joe. You ready to catch my breath for me?
Just want to make this clear. Double duty, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Double pay?
I don't know about that.
CPR. I learned that in 8th grade.
Should be a good one here, though.
We'll have fun tonight there, Jacob. We'll have fun.
Absolutely. And so, but like we said, it will be a back and forth affair. Two teams that like to put up points in bunches. The Kindred Vikings score a little more points on the season. They averaged 67.9 points per game, had 76 in their last game against Sargent County, their first playoff game. As for the Northern Cass Jaguars, they averaged 59.1 points per game, only had those 59 points, so I guess right at their season average, 59 points last night, but not too shabby for them. The Kindred Vikings host a 9-game win streak. The Northern Cass, Jaguars have had a rather tremendous season. Their last loss was against these Kindred Vikings in the last game of the regular season, but they have, like we said, 15-5 on the season here, so not too shabby at all. Good enough for the number 3 seed. And we were gonna let you hear in on my interviews with first Coach DC Lucas of the Northern Cass Jaguars. Hello and welcome into YourLiveEvent.com. I'm joined with Northern Cass head coach DC Lucas. And just how relieving is it to get that first playoff win under your belt here?
It's very relieving. You know, there's always an interesting place to play. It's a lot of nerves, not just for myself, but I have a very young team. So to get here and get through Richland was a big win for us and a big win for the program. Absolutely.
And just last night's game was a little bit of a track meet with Richland going back and forth, and now up against Kindred, another team that likes to run. Yeah. So what kind of advantage or maybe a disadvantage does it give your girls being in that track meet last night?
You know, it's an advantage for us because we're used to playing in a track meet. We played Kindred about a week and a half ago, so we've kind of seen their style. They're as tough as can be. We don't go as deep as they do, so I may have to pull some girls that aren't used to playing just to kind of keep up with the pace, but we're looking forward to the challenge. It'll be fun.
Right. And like you said, you just played Kindred about 8 days ago in a loss. What did you learn in that trip or in that game against Kindred to kind of flip the script? What can you do to flip the script?
Well, it's tough to flip their script because, you know, with Abby Dusher and Taryn Johnson, they're transcendent players. I mean, I've been watching them probably since the 4th grade, and they just keep getting better and better. I learned that they're still getting really good. You know, at the end of the day, I think there's some adjustments that we can to weather the storm with Kindred at times, and just hope that you once they punch you can punch back and then stay with them, and you know, hopefully get to the 3rd and 4th quarter and just make sure it's a tight game to see if we can't make something happen.
Absolutely. And Haley Crockett, one of your star players, had a little bit of a rough game against Kindred in that last game. So what do you have to do to get her going early here in this one?
Yeah, kudos to Sam. You know, she did a great job. They zeroed in on Haley, they zeroed in on Emma, and they had a real tough time just getting on the flow. So I think we changed some things up offensively, hopefully to get the ball in her hands. And you know, with her younger sister Hayden coming on board too, it gives a little more firepower to move the ball around. Hopefully, give her some open looks.
Absolutely. And just anything else you want to add at the end here?
No, you know, at the end of the year, I mean, I think we've had a great year. We're still a very young team, and this is going to be a great experience for us. I mean, Kindred brings a lot of talent and experience, so we're looking tonight to compete and see what we can do.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Coach, for joining us here. And thank you, Coach DC Lucas. And like we said, both Crockett's will be somebody to watch for, as last game out against Kindred, Hallie Crockett was limited to just a few points, well under her season average, as Coach Sam Brandt, as he said, had a good game plan against her. So we'll listen in now to Coach Sam Brandt and tell her what if she can once again capitalize on that same game plan against Hallie Crockett. Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. I'm joined with Kindred coach Sam Brandt. And just how relieving is it to get that first playoff win underneath your belt?
The first one's it's always good to get under your belt. Being in the environment, you know, the vision of the hoop, the length of the floor, it's all really, really important to have a good one on that first one. And we did that last night.
Absolutely. A big win for you guys as well. Just everyone is used to Abby Dutcher lighting up the scoreboard, but last night it was your sophomore Casey Berner with 25 points and 5 3-pointers. Just how nice is it when your role players step up like that?
Oh, they're all capable, every single one of them. And Abby knows that. There's no way they could do it without each other, though. They balance each other. And they enjoy it. They find whoever's hot. They do whatever it takes to get whoever needs the ball, and they take the shots when they're supposed to. It's how they play.
So it was a fun game to watch for you guys. One of my second games seeing you guys this season, but a fun game to watch for me just as a viewer of basketball. So
Yeah, thank you.
And you played Northern Cass just 8 days ago, and you came away with that win. Just what did you do well that allowed you to come away with a win?
We walked in with a defensive confidence. You know, we knew it was on our home court. We knew we were battling for the second place seed in the region, and we wanted to play well, and we wanted to be on top of our game, especially the last region game of the year. And we did. We really focused defensively on what we needed to make happen and space the floor out offensively, and got the job done.
And talking about that defense, you limited their best player, Hallie Crockett, with I'm not sure what the total number of points was, but well below her season average. And just what were you able to do to shut her down, and do you think that strategy is going to work once again here in this one?
You know, we go with tendencies of who we're going to play with, but mostly we focus on ourselves. You know, what are we going to do defensively to make sure that we get stops? And focusing on Hallie is a big part of their offense and shutting them down. So we like to chase, and Casey does a really, really good job of making sure she's denied and making sure everything she gets is hard-earned. And that's what we'll do again. I mean, she still has to compete. She has to show up and play. So if it wasn't broke the first time, it should work the second time, right?
Absolutely. And just anything else you'd like to add here going into this big quarterfinal game?
No, we're just ready. There's 2 games before the big one, and there's a reason for it. You know, we're trying to build up leading into tomorrow or on Thursday night. So we're hoping this one is just another step on to goal and another ring on the ladder, and hoping to come out feeling pretty confident and going into Thursday night. So I think we're ready, and I know the girls maybe have woken up hoping it was Thursday, but it's not, and I think every coach is definitely okay with having one more practice game before, or practice day before. So
Absolutely.
We're excited.
All right, fair enough. And just thank you for joining us here, Coach Brandt, and good luck here tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more yourliveevent.com.
Jacobson Red Angus Annual Bull Sale, Wednesday, April 14th at the ranch near Hitterdall, Minnesota. 60 of the region's highest quality Red Angus bulls from Prairie Red Angus, Jacobson Red Angus, with sale broadcast live at DVA Auction. Request a catalog today. gjrangus@feltontel.net is the email. 701-361-3189. Jacobson Red Angus Annual Bull Sale. 60 of the region's highest quality Red Angus bulls selling Wednesday, April 14th.
Welcome back into the Cess Vanderhav pregame show. Almost wrapping up here. There's a couple seconds till we will get back into some action here as Northern Cass, the number 3 seed, will take on the number 2 Kindred Vikings. And like we said, this will be a track meet more than likely. Both teams like to get out and run, and it was showed a lot last night. And so I would expect more of the same here in this one. So starting lineups will be coming up here. First for the Northern Cass Jaguars, starting at a guard, 8th grade, 5'7", 8th grader, number 2 Hayden Crockett. Starting out forward, a 5'11", senior, number 5 Morgan Nelson. Starting at another guard, a 5'8", sophomore, number 13 Hallie Crockett. Starting at a forward, a 6-foot junior, number 22 Emma Lucas. And rounding out the starting lineup at a guard, a 5'5", junior, number 25, Abby Richmond. And then some players to watch off the bench for the Northern Cass Jaguars. Number 4, Macy Danielson. Number 10, Madison Zwetzig. And number 21, Allie Slinger. All play big roles in this one. Coach Lucas said he might have to play a couple more players off the bench than he normally does. So we'll have to watch out for those players as well. Like he said, he's anticipating a track meet as well, as am I, as is Joe. He's got to catch my breath a little bit here and there if we do go back and forth real quick. And then for the Kindred Vikings, starting at a guard, a 6'1", junior, number 5, Abby Ducher. Starting at another guard, a 5'8", sophomore, number 10, Casey Berner. Starting at a forward, a 5'9", junior, number 12, Tina Fryer. Starting at a center, a 6'1", junior, number 22, Taryn Johnson. And starting at a forward, rounding up the lineup, a 5'11", junior, number 24, Jordan Sunram. And some players to watch for the Vikings off the bench, number 0, Charlie McQuillan. And also Peyton Getty, number 3, and Cadence Striley, number 25. A lot of guard plays, a lot of guards will be playing here in both teams. As we said, that will feature those run and gun kind of offenses that they both feature. Not a lot of center play. Taryn Johnson, the lone center on both teams that is listed in a starting lineup. She averages 15.4 points per game, so she might be a key factor in this one, being that she has the height advantage here in this one. So height and speed is going to be a big factor. Joe, what are you hoping for out of this one here?
They're just looking for a good match here because, of course, the winner of this game takes on a very good Central Cass team who also likes to run and gun as well as play very good defense with the number 1 rated defense. So, of course, we're looking for just a good game because this is the last game in the semifinals before we meet our 2 people competing for the Region 1.
And that'll be a very exciting championship game no matter who comes out the winner here in this one. And like we said, it'll probably be very similar to this game. It'll be a very run and gun because both teams, well, all 3 teams now like to run in transition, like to get those easy fast break opportunities. And the starting lines are being read now here in Wahpeton, North Dakota. Like I said, Crockett's had some great games last night. Hallie Crockett had 23 points last night, shot 11 free throws, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. So not a bad performance at all from the free throw line for Hallie Crockett. I was at a game between Northern Cass and Lisbon earlier this year, and it was just kind of the same story. She actually had 23 points in that one as well. Shot a bunch of free throws, so kind of James Harden-esque, only she's a right-handed player instead of a lefty.
Wow, you can't go that far in James Harden. I mean, my God. But you look at it, and 23 points, I'd say more like the Michael Jordan if you want to stick on the right-handed side. But again, we are way too over-comparing these players because, of course, those are NBA talents. We're here ready to play some very competitive super basketball, high school basketball.
The Vikings look to go really quick, get a ball inside to Johnson, but now Berner with it in the wing, gets it over to Fryer on the opposite wing. Quick ball moving to a 3-point shot from Casey Berner. She stays hot. Another 3-pointer for Casey Berner. Had 5 in the game last night. On the board quickly with the first 3 points here in this one.
And again, no hesitation that time by the Vikings, able to get the ball in and out, and 3 quick passes leads to an open 3 ball and a good start for the Vikings here.
And she doesn't play like a sophomore. She has all the confidence in the world when it comes to shooting those 3-pointers. Just automatic, really, in these last 2 games. I mean, it is early, as that floater no good from the Jaguars. And then we're going to get a travel called as Crockett rolled around on the floor a little bit. So ball will go back to the Vikings.
You're gonna say, and I'm gonna be kind of dumb when I say this, but you're lucky if you're the Jaguars on that one because instead of giving up an easy transition 5-on-4, you're able to get a set defense down against the Vikings here.
Near turnover, but Abby Dutra will line up a 3, and that's 2 for 2 now for the Vikings. 2 threes to start off this game, and they started right where they left off, drilling 3-pointers. As it's a quick 6-0 lead on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard. Trying to answer was Hayden Crockett, but no good on that 3-point shot. As we are already going back and forth. Taryn Johnson inside goes up, and that's good. And then a quick timeout there from Coach DC Lucas. Doesn't like the 8-0 run he's let the Vikings get on, as we'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
Right away when I first stepped onto the NDSCS campus, no matter your age, background, anything, everyone there is supportive of you. You have support from the day you start. My name is Nicole, and I'm here for my future.
Right after school, I'm right into the workforce. I don't have to go looking for a job, and that's kind of what made me take a step forward into being a diesel tech at NDSCS. No looking back. My name is Eli, and I'm here for my future.
Welcome back to Wahpeton, North Dakota NDSCS campus. They're playing host to Region 1 action here. Northern Cass inbounding here. Little 1-3-1, high 1-3-1, full court for the Vikings. But getting across and then stolen by Abby Dutra, looking to push now 3-on-2 in transition. Fryer pump fakes, loses it, gets it back to Johnson now, spins back to Sunram, goes up, blocked though, and then ball's loose. Fryer tracks it down, goes up, left short though. Johnson with the rebound, and then a foul will be called against Emma Lucas. That'll be her first.
And again, right there, you know, we had this little break or discussion between the break. This is exactly how the Central Cass, as well as the first game of the scoreboard here tonight. This is exactly how it started. 8-0 run, 10-0 run.
Maybe even 11-0 run. And one there from Abby Ducher. They're just starting off too hot here for the for the Kindred Vikings. So Abby Ducher, 20 points on the season, averages 20 points on the season, had 20 points last night. Shoots 63% from the free throw line. Her first free throw opportunity of the night is up, and that's good. Nothing but net from Abby Ducher, all the way up to 6 points here already. As it's a quick 11-0 run for the Kindred Vikings. Shot no good from Hayden Crockett. She hits the floor as the Vikings look to push once again in transition. Nice pass into Burner, layup up, no good though. A little too strong off the glass. And then trying to get the rebound was Emma Lucas, but hacked on the rebound opportunity as the Jaguars will take over possession.
You can kind of see just in that last two possessions the track meet that this game is going to be bringing here tonight.
Absolutely. Ball's tipped there and out of bounds. Will go back to the Jaguars. Tipped by Fryer. Good hands there to stop it. So Crockett now, Hallie Crockett inbounding to Hayden Crockett. Looking to drive, gets it over to Nelson. Nelson loses it. Sunram gets the steal. As now the Vikings will take over possession once again. So 0 points still here on the scoreboard for the Northern Cass Jaguars. They've not been able to break that seal. Reverse layup, a nice one by Casey Burner. Up now to 13-0 for the Kindred Vikings on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard. Northern Cass looking to break that seal on the basket, but not going to do it there with another turnover as Hayden Crockett and Taryn Johnson hit the floor, as now the Vikings will slow it up here on the offensive side. So Burner to Ducher, looking to drive now as Ducher goes up with a layup. Gets that one to go once again, Abby Ducher. And then a quick timeout from DC Lucas.
I just want to add one thing. I've been wanting to say this all the time. It's 15 love.
It's
Tennis
15
score.
love. 15 love is the score here for you tennis folks. Didn't know Joe Stetz was one of those, but we'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
We serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota, or that we've been around for over 60 years. How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. A quick start here. DC Lucas clearly cannot be happy with his Jaguars. They got down 8-0, took a timeout, hoping that maybe that would settle his girls in a little bit. But now down 15-0, having to take another timeout, and not even 3 minutes into the ball game. Just what has been working so far for Kindred that you've seen here, Joe?
They've been patient. They've been getting their shots, especially right away. You know, hitting the 2 threes to open up the scoring tonight. But not only that, being able to get back on defense, clear the boards, not allow second chance opportunities. You know, Northern Cass has not been able to clear it. They've been giving up a few offensive chances and allowing them to get to the basket right now.
And that press defense has forced a couple turnovers, as long as just their half-court defense also forcing a lot of turnovers. Hallie Crockett now on the open court, looking to go in. Double team, gets it out to her teammate there. Looking to drive there is Crockett. Looking to step backward into Lucas. And a foul will be called. Not sure who that foul went against, but that will go against number 22, Taryn Johnson, her first. So Crockett inbounding, gets it to her sister, Hayden Crockett, the 8th grader. Falling down now, breaking some ankles as Haley Crockett drives in, spins, goes up. Can't get that one to go either. Taryn Johnson, a nice rebound, gets it up now to Casey Burner. Fast break opportunity is hacked by Hayden Crockett to the line for 2. First foul there on Hayden Crockett.
And right now, the Vikings are putting the burners on the Jaguars right now.
Absolutely. Casey Burner going to the line for her first 2 shots. She shoots 77.8% on the season from that free throw line. First free throw for Burner is no good. A couple of Jaguars checking into the game. Zwetzig and number 12, Josie Jensen, also into the game for the Jaguars. That free throw from Burner is good. It's a 1 for 2 on that trip. She's up to 6 points now in this one. Now Hallie Crockett will bring it up for the Jaguars. Back and forth, stepping back for a three now. That one's no good, misses everything. And then ball must have hit the line as Josie Jensen was trying to save it, but will go the way of the Vikings.
And nothing just seems to work right now for the Jaguars. They're trying everything, layups, mid-range jump shots, three-pointers. They just cannot get something to go. But sooner or later, you got to break the cold streak and get something and work with it.
It's now looking like they're falling into a 2-3 zone. Are the Jaguars trying to do something different on defense anyways? Ducher goes up with a shot, no good. Rebounded by Sunram, but out of bounds. It will stay with the Vikings. McQuillan checking in the ball game for the Vikings here. Number 0 checking in for Jordan Sunram as Abby Ducher will inbound for the Vikings. Karen Johnson now with it, drives strongly, goes up and good. Karen Johnson, her 4th point of the ball game. Nice little behind the back dribble there from Hayden Crockett. Gets it now to her teammate Jensen. Now Zwetzig with it. Looking in, sees nothing, back to Hayden Crockett. Hallie Crockett hit the floor, but up now. Zwetzig driving, gets into the lane, goes up, no good. Rebounded by Berner and then fouled on the rebound as she hit the floor. That foul going against, I believe, Hallie Crockett. As the Vikings will take over. So still 0 points there on the scoreboard for the Jaguars. Just a rough game here for them. What do they have to do that they haven't been doing so far here in this ball game, Joe?
They just need to slow down. They need to get a set offense, and they need to just find a basket. Any way they can get it, they just need to find a basket.
Absolutely. Ducher now spinning, almost loses it. Gets it up to her teammate McQuillan, but a foul called. McQuillan missing that shot. Not that it mattered, but foul called. Ducher drawing the foul. Hallie Crockett a quick break, but back into the ballgame now for her sister Hayden Crockett.
And not only on the offensive end do they just need to find any basket at any sort, they really need to pick it up on the defensive end and say, hey, you know what, we're going to try and keep this at 18-0 and keep it as little as we can get until we find a basket.
A near turnover there as a bad pass there from Nelson. But Crockett driving in, taking it all the way. Saw some contact, nothing called as the Vikings go in transition once again up to Fryer, but too strong. Ball finds its way out of bounds. And it'll belong back to the Jaguars.
And right there on the Jaguars' offensive possession before that, you know, he had an opportunity to kick it out for a three. It's a little bit of a desperation or trying to play a little hero ball, trying to make that basket there or draw some fouls. Just got to do the right things, do the fundamental, get the guy, hit the open shooter when he's open.
And a good call there on the double dribble. Hallie Crockett normally is the hero, so she was trying to force a little bit there. 23 points last night in their win over Richland, but just not being able to get much of the same success that she had last night. As Hayden Crockett, quick break, is back into the ballgame. She has 2 fouls though, so we'll have to be careful now on the defensive side. So Fryer skip pass to Berner, nearly stolen by Crockett, but Berner looks to drive now, and then loses the ball. Ball still loose. Ducher had it for a second, and a foul is going to be called. I believe this one will also go against Hallie Crockett, and that will be her second. So both Crockett's with 2 fouls now. And not something you want if you're the Northern Cass Jaguars.
A little bit of a questionable call there. It looked like the ball was loose. Neither team had possession of it. But it goes in favor of the Vikings, and they'll still keep possession here.
3-point shot from Fryer underway. No good. Ball's tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with the Vikings. So Abby Ducher will inbound. Seems like it's been on the side of the Vikings pretty much all game. It's been one shot and done for the Jaguars, or a turnover and done for the Jaguars, whereas the Vikings have gotten multiple rebounds. 3-point shot from Ducher is up, and that's good. Nothing but net from Abby Ducher, having herself a heck of a first quarter. She's all the way up to 11 points here in quarter number 1. Hayden Crockett looking to drive, double team now by Ducher, as now Nelson gets it, looking to drive corner, stepping back, nothing from her though. There's now Jensen, nice pass in, layup up, no good. Ducher comes away with the rebound as now Fryer will look to push in transition up to Berner now. She'll shoot another 3. That one's no good, too strong. Ducher with the rebound, she'll step back. That 2-pointer's good from Abby Ducher. So now 13 points for Abby Ducher. And then a timeout, this time by the Vikings, and you hear those Vikings erupt. 23-0 on your Patriot Fuel scoreboard. We'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Inc. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
Welcome back into the campus of NDSCS, Wahpeton, North Dakota. And a great atmosphere here. It's been a fun one, although not if you are a Northern Cass Jaguars fan. 23-0 on the scoreboard. They had a great showing last night with their win over Richland, the score of 59-46, and just haven't been able to find that success so far here in this one. They are down 23-0 on the Patriot Field scoreboard, and just hoping, just as a basketball fan, to get her back into the ball game here. Just can't get into that scorers column, and we're going back on the offensive side here now are the Jaguars. The Vikings still in that full court press, but a little lighter now as another turnover by the Jaguars. As now the ball's loose, Striley coming away with it. Now Berner shoots another three. Her second now of the ball game for Casey Berner. Had 5 in the ball game last night, 4 of those coming in the third quarter. As she is now up to 9 points. And the ball's loose. Hayden Crockett on the floor. Now a couple players on the floor as a jump ball is called. And possession arrow in favor of the Jaguars. They'll stay with possession.
And in this matchup, we did not expect this kind of an deficit so far, with not even putting a single point up yet so far for the Jaguars, especially with a 3 and a 4 matchup.
Yeah,
or 3 and a 2 matchup. Thank you, Derek.
I thought this was going to be very back and forth. The action has gone back and forth very quickly, but not the scoring. As Hallie Crockett looking to change that luck. Nelson will shoot a 3, but a charge call is called. The Vikings just are all in on this game, defense and offense. It's just been a dominant showing so far for the Kindred Vikings. Hallie Crockett getting that call, her 3rd foul, and we are only in quarter number 1. She stays in the ball game. She is majority of their offense throughout the season, so they need her to break that scoring drought of 0 points still here in the game. McQuillan 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Ducher. Looking to go up, but passes to McQuillan. Instead goes up quickly and gets that to go for her first 2 points of the ball game. Nobody's back. Nice nifty behind the back move, but loses it off her knee. And it will go back to the Vikings. I thought maybe a good opportunity there after the nice behind the back dribble from Hayden Crockett, but unfortunately loses it off her knee.
It was a very good move, and it was the right move. It just so happened that, you poked, or there was poked out, and the loose ball goes right off your knee and then eventually goes out of bounds. It's just bad luck right now that the Jaguars are running into, and it's not the look, especially it's not the game you want inside of a regional tournament game.
Absolutely not, as now they are in the the bonus are the Vikings after that foul from Hayden Crockett. So both Crockett sisters now are in the foul trouble for the Jaguars. So Striley now will shoot for the Vikings. Her first free throw is up and good, so she'll be rewarded with a second free throw. Will Striley shoots 54.5% from the free throw line on the season. She had 3 points in their game last night. Second free throw left a little short, and then rebounded now by Jensen. So 1 for 2 for Kaden Striley on the free throw line. Trying to dribble out of it and turn over once again by the Jaguars. That full court D being very, very effective once again for the Vikings. So 29-0, shot clock off. The Vikings can hold on to the last shot here in the first quarter, potentially be up 30-plus points. It's a 3-point shot from Berner. No good on that one. Has 2 already in the game, looking for her 3rd, but no good on that 3-point shot. Turnover once again. Casey Berner wide open on the fast break, loses the handle, and a travel is going to be called on her. So 4 seconds left. The Jaguars a chance to hopefully not be held scoreless here in quarter number 1. We'll have to get down the court very quickly as there's 2 seconds. Zwetzig will not get a shot up as the score after 1 29-0 on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. We'll step aside on yourliveevent.com.
See your future come together at Lake Region State College. Train for in-demand careers, part-time, full-time, or online. At Lake Region State College, we change lives.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota, NDSCS, the host campus here. And not anything that anybody would have expected in this game. 29-0 to start for the Kindred Vikings. We're welcoming along with Derek Zimmer-Geyer and Joe Stetz. And I don't think any of us saw this coming here in Region 1 action.
If this is how the Vikings are going to play, if they win this game tonight against Central Cass in the Thursday game championship, the Squirrels have a lot on their plate, but this game's not over yet.
I think right now, especially with how the Vikings have played, they're really going to go after and say, hey, you're the number one defense. Look at what we did here in this first quarter.
A statement for sure.
Taryn Johnson will find her way to the line as Emma Lucas picks up her third foul. So 3 Jaguars now with the total of 9 fouls. 3 of them with 3 fouls. Emma Lucas, Haley Crockett, and Hayden Crockett. That 1-and-1 free throw from Johnson, no good. Stolen away by Dutcher. Layup no good, gets her rebound back and gets that one to go, does Abby Dutcher. So continues right where she left off. Had a great first quarter as now Hayden Crockett has a fast break opportunity but loses the ball and it goes out of bounds once again. Has had a couple of opportunities but has lost the handle. She goes into the Kindred fans there. Might have hit her head. She's going to take a moment to regather herself.
She's seeing stars right there because, again, nothing just is going right. Another one of those fast break opportunities. You have it in transition. Loses the handle, I think, herself that time. And just it so happens it goes again off another body part and then goes out of bounds. Just it's bad luck what the Jaguars are running into here.
And Hayden Crockett looking not well there. She's checking out. Not sure if she'll make her way back into it. She definitely hit her head. She was pointing to the back of her head a couple times there. So maybe a little bit of a scary sight there for Hayden Crockett. But Dutcher, a nice move, gets around but almost turns it over. And now, unfortunately for the Jaguars, Morgan Nelson was stepping out of bounds and it just hit her. So stay with the Vikings.
For a hot second, that looked like the best defensive possession so far for Northern Cass, but they give it right back up off the boot.
It's just been bouncing the way of the Vikings so far here in this one. There's now a timeout, a smart timeout called by Dutcher. She couldn't find anyone to get it into. So we'll step aside here once again on yourliveevent.com.
You're never too young to start saving for your future. Dakota Heritage Bank offers the Grow With Us program for kids. It's a young savers club with various incentives, including newsletters, a higher savings rate, bonuses, and more. Contact Dakota Heritage Bank to find out more about the Grow With Us program. Dakota Heritage Bank has 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank offers mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. Like we said, nothing that we would have expected going into this one. A 31-0 game here, all the way in quarter number 2 already. Only 2 points for the Kindred Vikings to start, but only a minute in to quarter number 2. 29 points in that first quarter. Nonetheless, that's unbelievable in a Region 1 game here. But to hold a team to 0 points in the quarterfinals against a number 3 seed in Northern Cass is just unbelievable. I'm just kind of in awe. I don't really have words for it anymore at this point.
It is very speechless. Or it is. You can definitely use the word speechless for how the performance of the Vikings have been here tonight. It is just very impressive on their end, and it's demoralizing for the Jaguars.
Burner had a hot hand in the game last night, but that three-pointer no good for her. Dutra has a hot hand tonight. That three-pointer also no good. Rebounded by Kayla Treader. Fast break opportunity for her. Goes up. First 2 points of the game for the Jaguars. Hopefully that can get them going. Kayla Treader, the freshman, off the bench, getting the first 2 points on that fast break opportunity for the Jaguars. Taryn Johnson now looking to answer. Goes up. Sees some contact. No foul called. Gets her rebound back. Goes up once again. Contact again. That one no good, but she will go to the line for 2.
And a great another one of those Vikings where they put a shot up, they get their own offensive rebound, and they give themselves another opportunity with second chance points to go to the line here.
Joseph, I just want to add, technically you can't use speechless to describe yourself if you're speechless.
That's a good point. First free throw good there from Taryn Johnson. Missed her first free throw after a 1-and-1 opportunity. Missed the front end. So 1 of 2 on the game for Taryn Johnson. Shoots 64.1% from the free throw line on the season, though. So second free throw for Johnson is up. That one is also good for 2 for 2 on that trip for Taryn Johnson. 2 for 3 on the game for her. As a steal, maybe out of bounds there by Burner, so it'll stay with the Jaguars.
And I know Derek's laughing at the student section here for the Jaguars. At least they still have good spirits, and they made sure that the officials knew exactly where that ball went out of bounds at.
Yeah, the Jaguars not lying at the scoreboard, but the attire for the student section pretty bright, I would say.
They came out in their colors, absolutely, and then a turnover from the Jaguars once again. Just a rough start to this game. Not the way you want to come out in a quarterfinal game. They were playing with Kindred a little bit in their game just 8 days ago. It was fairly similar as to what the deficit is now, but 74-41 had a much better scoring performance. As a three-point shot there from Tina Fryer, her first 3 points of the ball game, brings that lead now to 36-2 on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard. There's a trap there from Johnson and Ducher on Nelson, gets away from it. Layup up, no good, but fouled as Emma Lucas will go to the line for 2.
And a good drive there, exactly what the Jaguars got out of it. They broke that little trap side defense there. They were able to get something. They're going to get something out of this, hopefully, with this free throw line trip.
Emma Lucas had 9 points in their game yesterday against Richland. Looking to get back in the scores column here in this one, as she does for the first free throw make for the Jaguars. Their first trip of the game also for Northern Cass.
Having your first trip at the 5:44 mark before halftime, just obviously not a recipe for a dub. And this score, haven't seen something like this since we called Finley Chenault Page. And that last game a few weeks ago, the halftime lead that was.
Is that free throw no good? Haley Crockett coming down with the rebound, and she gets her way into the scores column for the first time today. 23 points in their win last night, but just 2 points here so far in this one. Only 5 total points for the Jaguars so far as the Vikings are on in a sun ramp. She goes up strong, but no good. Getting her own rebound, and then a jump ball, I believe, will be called as Haley Crockett gets her arms on that ball. So possession will go back to the Jaguars now.
And the Jaguars starting to try and build a little momentum. They've now got 5 points. They're trying to dig into it. They can't get it all back in one quarter, but they have to start digging themselves out.
McQuillan with a steal, and then an easy layup for Charlie McQuillan. Her second bucket of the ball game. She's up to 4 points here as the lead grows once again here for the Vikings, 38-5 on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard.
And the thing right now also for the Vikings, you can't get conservative. You have to keep playing aggressive, especially into the second half, especially with a big lead early in this game.
Ducher passes to Fryer. It might have been blocked there. Maybe it was a pass to Johnson, and she gets that one to go, does Taryn Johnson. She's up to 8 points now in this one.
Off the turnover and the easy bucket inside, I'd call that pretty aggressive.
Absolutely. Treader now, the freshman, doesn't get a lot of play in action. Has 2 points on the ball game already, though. As Crockett tries to get back out to her, but stolen away by Fryer. Now going in transition. Nice pass into Ducher for 2 more points. Abby Ducher up to 17 points. Leads the way for the Vikings here in this one.
Man, deja vu for 2.
And they are definitely rolling right now, are the Vikings.
And then looking inside to Hallie Crockett, but it must have hit off her shoe as the ball goes out. a good sign here for Hayden Crockett checking back into the game. The Northern Cass Jaguars getting back their star 8th grader. So looks like she is okay. So must not have hit her head too bad. Just probably hurt in the moment. Back onto the court is Hayden Crockett for the Northern Cass Jaguars. Fryer now with it. Gets it into the corner for Johnson, looking to drive out to Striley. She'll think about a three. McQuillan now with it. She looks to drive, throws up the left-handed floater. That's good for Charlie McQuillan, having herself a nice little game off the bench. She's up to 6 now in the ball game.
Oh my goodness. Joe, you said on a roll maybe? I'd say that's the understatement of the year so far. It's only February though.
As Johnson pushes up to McQuillan once again, she'll stop, pop, and that's good for Charlie McQuillan. Kindred cannot be stopped. 46-5 is the score on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard. We'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app. And as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remains. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company.
Your Nodak Insurance rep in Lisbon is Lee Falk.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota, a 46-45 lead. And once again, I've said this multiple times, nobody saw this coming. I didn't see this coming. I don't think Joe saw it coming. I don't think Derek saw it coming. This is just an incredible performance by Kindred.
I definitely did not see this coming at all. I'm sorry, Derek, I jumped in front of your line there. I definitely did not see a 41-point deficit at all in the first half is really what I'm surprised at.
Let's remind everybody, this is a 2 and a 3 seed in the semifinal round. 2 and 3. Does not look like it. It looks like December basketball.
And like we said in that earlier matchup, Kindred won 74-41. But so it's already closer. The deficit was already closer than what it is in this one. Hopefully it gets a little bit better here for the Jaguars. Hayden Crockett likes that behind the back move. Floater no good from her though. As now once again in transition is Ducher. A nice pass into Fryer. Just incredible basketball being played here by the Kindred Vikings. If you're the Central Cass Squirrels watching this one, you might have to be a little nervous going into the final game here coming up on Thursday.
Well, Central Cass in its last 2 games gave up 6 in the first quarter off of that carry. And then in the second quarter, they gave up, from the second game in the first quarter, gave up 7. It's been a whole half. And Northern Cass has only scored 5 points against Kindred.
So far, yes.
Just incredible basketball being played by the Kindred Vikings. Just very little you can point your fingers at that they've done wrong so far here in this one. Striley will line up a 3-point shot, and that's good. It doesn't matter who's going to shoot the ball. It's going in for the Kindred Vikings. This is just incredible. Hallie Crockett tries to answer, cannot get that one to go. Ball's going to find its way out of bounds, and it'll go to the Vikings.
That was NBA range, Jacob.
Cadence Striley off the bench, only 4 points on the game, only had 3 points in the game yesterday. That one also coming from the 3-point line, so she had a 3-pointer in the game last game, but just a sophomore is Cadence Striley having herself a little bit of fun here in this one, as are the whole Vikings. Another shot good. This one from Taryn Johnson. She is just tearing up the middle for the Kindred Vikings.
It's literally 2 points away from being a 50-point lead in the first half.
Let's remind everyone again, in our first game between Central Cass and Wyoming Linderwood, no one scored more than 50 points in the entire game.
And this is just one half. 3-point shot, a big shot there for Morgan Nelson. Hopefully getting the Jaguars back on track. Get some points up on the board here with just under 2 minutes here to go in quarter number 2. Morgan Nelson's first 3 points of the game. She had 11 last night. Nice pass into Johnson. Another pass to McQuillan. 3-point shot. That one's no good. Seems like the first miss that Kindred had in a while. And then another good look by Johnson, but unfortunately couldn't get that to go for Taryn Johnson. Zwetzig with the rebound is now hitting Crockett real clear.
And the only reason that was a great look there that time on the left side for that left side block layup was the amazing pass as Crockett gets her floater to go in the paint.
So first 2 points there for Hayden Crockett. Had 12 points in the game yesterday. some oohs and ahs from the crowd after that nice play, or a nice dribble move by McQuillan. Has 2 more points there for Taryn Johnson. Just a beast there on the down low post there for the Kindred Vikings. Another steal, and then a foul will be called against Morgan Nelson. That'll be her first.
And it was a good foul that time by the Jaguars to not allow a transition because the Vikings were out they were up 2-on-1 on that transition.
Just no way to guard these Vikings right now. A 45-point lead in the semifinal round. Who would have thunk?
Not me. Kaden Striley, her first free throw, no good. She'll be in the double bonus here, so she'll get 2 fouls. Casey Berner checking back into the game for Abby Ducher. Just under a minute to go. Abby Ducher getting a big applause from the Kindred Vikings fans here. She's had a heck of a first half, has 17 points in the first half. Second free throw good from Kaden Striley. So now 2 of 4 from the free throw line for Striley here in this one. Crockett passes to Zwetzig, back to Crockett, back and forth action, back to Zwetzig, loses the handle, but will be able to track it down here, will Zwetzig. 40 seconds here to go in the first half. Nelson out on the wing now, collects the dribble, then ball goes out of bounds once again. Just a tough first half here for the Northern Cass Jaguars, and it's just a little hard to watch right now.
Hard to watch. I wonder how Central Cass is taking this right now. Of course, they beat this Kindred team by 1 point earlier in the season, but this team looks evolved.
Absolutely. Both their games here in the playoffs have been blowouts so far, and for the Central Cass, they've had a little bit closer games. Their games have been double-digit wins, but just not to the level of what Kindred has done against their opponents. Has now a fast break opportunity. A nice pass there from Crockett. Zwetzig can't get the layup to go, though. And then a foul or a jump ball. A jump ball will be called. Crashing in on the offensive glass there was Ellie Lucas for the Jaguars, able to get that jump ball, but it will go back to the Vikings.
With 2.5 seconds, I almost think the Vikings don't try one. Oh,
a deep shot there from Striley. That will be way short. So an incredible first half from the Kindred Vikings. They lead this one 56-10 on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. We'll step aside with a recap and some numbers from the first half here on yourliveevent.com.
If you are looking to update your home, stop in and talk with the crew at Castleton Lumber. They have everything you'll need to get the look you'll love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. Building new or adding on, Castleton Lumber can help with that too. They'll draft up the plans and help you choose the right products and features to make your house a home you and your family will enjoy for years to come. Stop in to Castleton Lumber today or call 701-347-4471.
The unknown consumes so much of our lives. That's why Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota is committed to providing clarity. We recognize that comparing colleges, especially the price, can be confusing. Concordia has always been a place where students of all economic backgrounds find success. And for next fall, we are reducing tuition by more than $15,000 so that any student who can imagine themselves at Concordia can be a Cobber. Now's the time to take a look at Concordia College, Moorhead, Minnesota. ConcordiaNow.com.
With fiber fast internet from ReadyTech, you can work, play, chat, explore at the speed of light. Fiber technology delivers massive data to your home through strands of glass. HD video streams with no buffering. Websites load instantly, and games never lag, no matter how many devices are connected. Experience the speed of light with fiber internet. Call or click ReadyTech Fiber today.
Powerful and playful, delicate and precise, bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family, to provide options beyond the expected, to help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. Jacob Tenson joined with Joe Stetz and Derek Zimmerman-Geyer, and just a beatdown in that first half, 56-10. 29 points in that first half, or the first quarter rather, for the Vikings, 27 in that second quarter. And held the Jaguars scoreless in that first quarter. I don't think I've ever seen that even in a regular season game, even in any of the games I've watched so far here this season, and really any high school game I've seen.
It's like pickup ball at the park, but gosh, at Ed Weary Arena, you would never think you'd see a 56-10 scoreboard.
Not only you would never see this in a scoreboard, in regional play, but in the second round, when you're one step away from the regional finals, we would not ever expect this. And even if you look at it as if it's a 1-4 matchup or 2-3, or a 1-5, or you still don't expect something like this.
Central Cass, they played against Windermere Lidgerwood, the 5 seed. Central Cass being that 1 seed, they only won with a score of 49-38. So Kindred already outscoring the Central Cass Squirrels by 7 in just 1 half.
That's the number 1 defense in all the region. Only give up 35 points per game. They've already beaten this Vikings squad, but the voyage to another dub, that's going to be a tough task if this score stands.
But now you also got to remember, are they, for the Vikings, with a big lead, you can't let it be. You can't be conservative about it. You still got to attack. You still got to build onto it. But not only that, you can't fire all your bullets in a game that's pretty much sealed. I mean, it's a 46-point lead at the half. You don't ever say never say never to a comeback can happen, but a 46-point lead when you've only put 10 up, it's not looking too good.
We saw a 31-point lead be blown by Finley Chenault Page boys against Griggs Makota just a week ago last Saturday. 46, however, in a half, you're asking for a lot.
It could happen. You can't never say never. And wait till that final horn sounds. But just, once again, an incredible first half from the Kindred Vikings as they're already back out here. Not a lot to talk about probably in the locker room for them.
I was just going to say, it's not a surprise that Kindred is the first team on the floor, and I'm actually really surprised they took more. I'm surprised they took 5 minutes off the halftime clock because everything seems to be working offensively, defensively, three-point shooting, layups, free throws. I mean, there's nothing that the Vikings are lacking on right now compared to the Jaguars.
All facets of the game are fantastic for Kindred.
And they're firing on all cylinders.
And Northern Cass, they just have looked frustrated really from the tip. The Kindred Vikings got off to a quick 8-0 run, 15-0 run, and just kept growing and growing more and more. And it ended up being a 29-0 first quarter lead. And then the first 2 points for the Jaguars didn't come until about two and a quarter minutes into that second quarter. So just a very, very slow start, only 10 points in that first half as 3 Jaguars have 3 fouls. That would be Hayden Crockett, Hallie Crockett, and Emma Lucas, all with 3 fouls. So not a way to start a half of semifinal action here in Region 1. I'm going to run through some numbers here real quick. First for the Kindred Vikings, leading the way in scoring is Abby Ducher with 17 points. She had 2 3-pointers in that first quarter. And then following her would be Taryn Johnson, being a beast there in that middle post action there is Taryn Johnson, 12 points on the half, followed by Casey Berner with 9. She also had 2 3-pointers. And then Charlie McQuillan off the bench with 8. And then both Tina Fryer and Kaden Striley with 5. 6 3-pointers on the half for the Kindred Vikings, went 6 of 10 from the free throw line. And then for the Northern Cass Jaguars, leading scorer was Morgan Nelson with 3, hit a 3-point shot late in that second quarter. And then a couple of Jaguars with 2, Hayden Crockett, Hallie Crockett, and Kaylee Treader off the bench, all with 2 points. And then Emma Lucas rounding up the scoring with 1 point. Only 1 trip to the free throw line for the Northern Cass Jaguars. That was Emma Lucas. She went 1 of 2 from the free throw line and only 1 3-pointer off the hands of Morgan Nelson. And I just don't even know. There's hard things to say here. 56-10. It's just an absolute dominant performance from the Kindred Vikings. That's nothing else you can really say other than that.
This has to be one of the best halves of basketball that all 3 of us have seen here on YourLoveOfIt.com all season long. I mean, 56 points in a half isn't crazy, but 10 against? I mean,
that's even
in the
crazy.
Playoffs.
And just to make sure that your point got across clear, it's the best half we've seen from a team, from one team. Of course, there's 2 teams out here, but one team is really playing the level that you need to be playing at this time of the year. The Jaguars are just and it doesn't help. They could not get the ball across half court line, and then when they finally get some kind of momentum, they lost the handle of the basketball. And of course, their stud 8th grader goes down and hits her head while she was on her drive where she had an opportunity to get a basket. It just seemed like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong for the Jaguars, and everything that could go right for the Vikings it's like you almost, if you're a Vikings fan right now, which is hard to say on this end because, of course, Minnesota. But, no, the Kindred Vikings, you almost need to buy a lottery ticket because everything's seemingly going in and doing it. The rebounds are falling to them. The shots are going in. They're getting second-chance opportunities. Everything is working for them, and it's beautiful basketball that the Vikings are playing.
I would say the Vikings have had more than one opportunity on almost every single possession, unless if they made it on that first shot. They've had multiple opportunities, multiple second chance points. As for the Jaguars, like you said, they've turned it over, or they've gotten their one missed shot and haven't got hardly any second chance opportunities. I don't know if they've had any on the ball game here so far. So just that height, just Karen Johnson and Abby Dutcher, 6'1" for both of them. Just that height advantage for them, really playing a big factor for the Kindred Vikings. We're going to step aside here. We'll come back with second half action here on yourliveevent.com.
Jacobson Red Angus Annual Bull Sale, Wednesday, April 14th at the ranch near Hitterdall, Minnesota. 60 of the region's highest quality Red Angus bulls from Prairie Red Angus, Jacobson Red Angus, with sale broadcast live at DVA Auction. Request a catalog today. gjrangus@feltontel.net is the email. 701-361-3189. Jacobson Red Angus Annual Bull Sale. 60 of the region's highest quality Red Angus bulls selling Wednesday, April 14th.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. Just a couple winding seconds left until we start second half action. And for the Northern Cass Jaguars, they've had an incredible season. Nothing to look away at after this performance here in the first half. They do score in bunches, average 59 points on the season. So maybe they can make a little run, get them back into the ball game, get those seniors that they have, the two seniors, and Morgan Nelson and Macy Danielson, get a little pride back, a little pep in their step, running down the season here.
And especially that is, you got to play with a little bit of pride. The game might be out of hand as we look at it right now, but at least come out and show the Jaguar pride that you have.
2-point shot there, deep two, hits the top of the glass, not called out of bounds. Rebounded by Dutcher, and she gets it up to Fryer now. Up to Sunram now, pushing in transition. Nice pass into Johnson. 2 more points for Taryn Johnson, up to 14 now. Had a great second quarter. Up to 14 points is Taryn Johnson. Has been a beast in that low post. Then a steal there from Fryer. Almost loses it, but gets it back now up to Johnson. She'll bring it up for the Kindred Vikings. Dutcher now at the 3-point line over to Casey Berner. Berner had a tremendous game. Last game, 25 points against the Sargent County Bulldogs, as she will go to the line for 2 after she was fouled on her reverse layup attempt.
That was a very late call there by the official, especially the shot had happened, and the Jaguar, had the rebound and they were about to run, and the foul was called for the shooting foul. The late call, but it was the right one.
And when it rains, it pours. And right now it's pouring on the Jaguars, down 59-10 after that make.
So first free throw good there from Casey Berner. Second one no good, so she's now 2 of 4 from the free throw line here in this one. Casey Berner up to 10 points, so finds her way in the double-digit club, joining her teammates Abby Dutcher and Taryn Johnson. So Nelson now on the wing, picks up her dribble, tries to get into the post, but tipped and stolen. Fryer now in transition, 3-on-2 opportunity. Nice no-look pass to Johnson. She goes up once again. An automatic from that low block is Taryn Johnson. Her 4th point of the quarter and 16 on the game.
Pass it like Stockton.
John Stockton. All sorts of similarities. Hayden Crockett with a 3-point shot. Only the second 3-pointer for the Northern Cass Jaguars. She's up to 5 points now here in the ballgame.
And shoot it like Stockton, too. He could sling it back in the day. Both ways.
As now Casey Berner, also a great 3-point shooter, gets it on the wing, looking into Dutcher. Pump fakes, goes up, no good, gets her own rebound, up once again, and that one's good for Abby Dutcher. Her first 2 points of the quarter, up to 19 here in this one.
And again, the Vikings are just doing everything fundamentally sound tonight, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
Nelson comes away with the rebound and then poked in the eye, or at least hit it in the face. So she'll draw a foul. I think that foul going against Jordan Sunram. It will. That'll be her first of the ball game. Excuse me, her second of the ball game. So inbounding is Hallie Crockett into Lucas. Richmond now looking inside to Nelson. She turns, throws it up, gets that one to go off the glass. Does Morgan Nelson, her fifth of the ball game.
And a nice shot there on the block. Got the separation she needed, made a nice post move, and kissed it right off the glass.
Floater from Berner is good. A great pass there by Abby Ducher, as now Berner is up to 12 here in the ball game. Crockett going in, left-handed scoop layup, no good. Rebounded by Johnson, as Ducher now will go the other way, gets it up to Jordan Sunram as she looks to drive, gets it now to Berner in the corner. Fryer left open at the three-point line. She shoots, no good. Johnson there to almost get the rebound, but tipped out to Richmond. Up to now Crockett. Hayden Crockett goes up with the left, rejected, but fouled. Fryer will get the foul as Hayden Crockett will go to the line for two. Fryer, her second foul of the ball game. This will be the first free throw opportunities for Hayden Crockett, as she has 5 points on the ball game, looking for her sixth and maybe seventh here in this one. That free throw up and good for Crockett. She had 12 points in the win last night against Richland. Had 2 3-pointers and went 2 of 3 from the free throw line, did Crockett. So second free throw up and coming for Hayden Crockett, the 8th grader. That one up, and that one's also good for 2 for 2 on that trip for Hayden Crockett. As now Ducher will bring it up. Approaching 5 minutes left here in quarter number 3. Ducher looking inside, ball's tipped and stolen away. Zwedzwig comes away with it, and now Crockett with it, leading the fast break opportunity. Pump fake, driving in, out to Zwedzwig. Back now to Hayden Crockett. She'll step back, fires a three. That one's left short. I might have missed everything, as now it will go back to the Vikings.
These last few minutes have, it's only 4:42 in the third quarter. It's felt like a long enough quarter. That's how it feels for Northern Cass at this point.
Just a drawn-out quarter indeed, a drawn-out game if you were a Northern Cass Jaguars fan. 65-17 to score on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard, as the Vikings now on possession. Near steal there by the Jaguars. Ducher comes back with it. Fryer, the floater, no good. Almost gets a rebound. Ducher now in there. A couple Jaguars on the floor. Ball still loose. Corral now by the Jaguars, as now Hallie Crockett will push in transition. Gets Sortenram to turn around. Scoop layup, left short. And now Johnson with the rebound going the other way. Johnson stripped by Zwedzwig, and then some contact, but nothing called there. Fryer almost with a steal there. Jensen walked. Or is it going to be a foul?
Nope. Walk.
It will be a walk, and it will go back to the Vikings.
The far official made that call. I know the official you were looking at was sitting right in front, but the official on the other sideline was the one that made the call. So I knew your eyes.
She was just nodding. I was like, well, you got to make a call or something. But the other ref made the call, I guess, apparently, as the travel was called on Josie Jensen. 3-point shot, Casey Berner left alone. 3-pointer rims in and out, no good. Rebounded by Lucas, gets it up to Crockett now. Crockett doesn't see Berner behind her, but maintains possession. Hallie Crockett with it. Stops, gets it to Lucas. Guarded by Ducher in the corner. Now on the wing. Looking into Crockett, but ball goes out of bounds. Will go back to the Vikings.
Man, that's... Even the Northern Cass student section was signaling back to Kindred's side. The way that's gone.
Just a rough sight to see for the Jaguars. Just a brutal, or just an incredible performance. Not even necessarily a bad game from the Jaguars, just an incredible performance from the Vikings. Have played the best basketball we have seen in this Region 1 tournament thus far. And the ball goes out of bounds, will stay with the Vikings. Just 65 points here, just over halfway through the third quarter. Had 56 points at the half. Just incredible game for the Vikings so far here. Turning, shooting, blocked by, I'm not sure who that was, but blocked by the Jaguars. Johnson was the shooter, and then balls or it's going to be a foul actually. Not sure who the foul was going against. Dutcher will inbound that foul going against number 12, Josie Jensen for the Jaguars.
Turnover.
Go back to the Jaguars now as Lucas will inbound. Crockett and the Vikings are playing that big pressure defense all first half, kind of settled off it as they host that big lead. Weswig up with the rebound, or up with the shot, I should say, and then she will go to the line for 2 after drawing some contact. Her opportunity for her first points in the ball game here. Had 0 points in their game last night, but a great defender is Wedwig. Applies a lot of pressure to those guards. Not seeing as much here in this one as her first free throw good, as the Vikings just really have gotten any shot they've wanted here so far. So 1 for 1 on so far here on this one. As second free throw up and coming here for Zwetswig. That one hits back rim, no good. Rebounded by Dutcher. And now looking to push in transition is Dutcher. Has Berner in the corner, didn't see her though. Striley now with it. McQuillan, and then a miscommunication there. Berner was ready to cut. McQuillan was passing it to her as the ball finds its way out of bounds. They'll go back once again to the Jaguars. So 56-10 was the score at the half. So scoring has slowed down here a little bit here for the Vikings in quarter number 3, but still hold that big lead as a steal there from Dutcher looking to push 3-on-2 opportunity. McQuillan with the ball gets that layup to go. Her 10th point of the ball game off the bench for Charlie McQuillan. Crockett now to Zwetswig. Skip pass, 3-point shot underway, no good. Off the hands of Lucas, Ellie Lucas that is. Ball goes out of bounds and it will go back to the Vikings.
If anyone's wondering when the last time these two teams played and what the outcome was, is only on February 15th. Kindred defeated Northern Cass 74-41.
So now
I was going to make a point to that because I thought the other thing you were looking at is Kindred's highest scoring game. Well, the lowest scoring game that the Jaguars had this year is 41 points against this same team. And now, I mean, the score is almost, I don't know if they're going to get to that 41-point mark at this moment right now.
Abby Dutcher with that floater on the other end for her 21st point, and then drawing a charge is Abby Dutcher. So a great defensive play, great offensive play on the other end. Abby Dutcher getting it done on both ends of the court. That foul going against Hayden Crockett, her 4th. So just one more until she is done here in this ball game. Berner now on the wing, guarded by Crockett. Johnson thought about a 3-pointer, but looks to drive. Wayne's wide open. Scoop layup is up and good for Taryn Johnson. 6 points now in the quarter for Taryn Johnson for a total of 18 points here in this one.
And for the Kindred Vikings, they are 10 points away from their season high total. They had 81 earlier this January.
And a great performance at 76 in the ball game last night. 3-point shot there from Nelson. Her second 3-pointer of the ball game. She is now leading the way for the Jaguars, up now to 8 points here in this one. Striley left open, foot on the line, 2-point shot, no good. Johnson tips it, gets it to Dutcher. Nice pass over to Striley, nice pass over to Berner now, and a great sequence there for the Kindred Vikings for 2 more points for Casey Berner. Up now to 14 here in this one.
Again, just what a performance the Vikings have had today, offensively, defensively. And as you saw in that last possession, even with a big lead, they're not going to try and get everyone involved, and just making that extra pass is what makes Kindred such a great team.
And before that 3-ball by the Jaguars, Johnson, with 18 points, had as many points as Northern Cass in this contest.
As Johnson and Dutcher check out in this ball game, I'd be surprised if we see them the rest of the game. They had tremendous games here in this one. 21 points for Abby Dutcher and 18 for Taryn Johnson. Just a tremendous game for them, 73 points, and the third quarter is not even quite done yet. So Berner with it, winding seconds here, about a 2-second difference between shot and game clock, as McQuillan now will slow down the offense. Sunram into McQuillan, and just almost went out of bounds, so just had to throw it back. Now Hallie Crockett in transition, goes up with a layup, up and good for Hallie Crockett, her fourth point of the ball game. So winding seconds here, 10 seconds to go. Casey Berner with it at the top of the key, gets it over to McQuillan now. 5 seconds. McQuillan to Striley. She'll shoot a deep three-pointer. That one hits front rim, almost finds its way in. No good, as that will be how our third quarter ends. A 50-point lead for the Kindred Vikings, 73-23 on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. We'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
I'm the first kid in my family to have graduated from college. Then at NDSCS, they told me, hey, look, you can get credits for this, you can go further. So I start to see like my horizon broaden up. I'm going to be pretty unstoppable. My name is Julie, and I'm here for my future.
Going to NDSCS, I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. For sure, I'll look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Back to action here, fourth quarter action, 73-23 on your Patriot Fuels scoreboard. Just another great quarter, 17-13 outscoring the Jaguars. Were the Vikings there in that quarter. So just once again a great offensive performance, as shot no good there from Hallie Crockett, rebounded by McQuillan. As now she'll bring it up the court for the Vikings. Tries to get in the lane, picks up her dribble, tries to get to Berner, does. Floater shot blocked there. I believe that was by Jensen. It was Jensen with the block there on Berner. So now the Jaguars taking over possession here. Richmond with it, looking to drive, gets it now. 2-point shot up and good for Emma Lucas, her third point of the ball game. Had a free throw earlier in the ball game. So her third point here, her first field goal of the ball game coming in the fourth quarter. McQuillan loses the handle, tips it out to Fryer, looking to drive now is Fryer, goes up, sees some contact, and a jump ball will be called. Well, now we might have a discussion here between refs, or no discussion will be called, as ref on the sideline here is going to call a foul instead of a jump ball.
The ref with the backside angle is going to overrule the jump ball call underneath, and he's going to award the Kindred Vikings with 2 free throws here.
Tina Fryer will go to the line for the first time here in the ballgame. That first shot, no good. She shoots 64.3% from the charity stripe. Has 5 points here in the ballgame, averages 7.2 on the season. So looking for her 6th point here, and she gets it. 1 of 2 from the line there in that trip for Tina Fryer.
I love how every time Joe explains a foul call, he looks at me like I'm a student in a classroom and he's at the chalkboard.
I just want to make sure someone is at least listening.
Professor Joe over here.
Trust me, Joe, it's not me.
Hayden Crockett lines up a deep 2. No good. Tracked down by Lucas, but taken away there by Ducher. Up now to Berner in transition. Goes up with the layup. Up and good once again from Casey Berner. Having herself a nice ball game after a 25-point performance against Sargent County. As now Berner comes away. A fast break once again. Layup up and good once again, as a timeout will be taken here. We'll step aside here on yourliveevent.com.
Since NODAC Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app. And as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remains. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs with answers where and when you need them most. NODAC Insurance Company.
Your NODAC insurance rep in Lisbon is Lee Falk.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. Just 6 minutes left, 5:59 to be exact. And once again, a really great game from the tip for the Kindred Vikings. Just, it's hard to see this as a basketball fan. Those seniors on the Jaguars, just a tough performance, as their career will likely come to an end for those 2 seniors in Morgan Nelson and Macy Danielson.
Kindred has taken this tip from the top, and I mean, it looks like it's going to be a championship rematch from last year's game between Kindred and Central Cass.
Kindred was the number 1 seed last year, as Central Cass was the number 2 seed, and now roles reversed as Kindred will come in as the number 2 seed, and Central Cass will be the number 1 seed here this time. Getty tips it, but will stay with the Jaguars. Trying to get it in there to Lucas, but just couldn't, as now she will inbound for the Jaguars. Trying to find somebody open, gets it into Crockett. She goes up, no good. Rebounded by Lucas. She'll go up, and it's the bottom of the backboard, and now it finds its way out of bounds. It will stay once again with the Jaguars. So a couple new Vikings in after that timeout. All the starters still in, though, for the Jaguars, trying to get some pride back there. Josie Jensen, not a starter, but her first 2 points of the ball game. The freshman center for the Jaguars.
A good offensive possession there, sealing the inside and getting a nice pass there also on the to Spark it, and also getting the basket there. Good shot there for the Jaguars, and let's see what they can do here.
Ball's tipped around and eventually finds the hands of Emma Lucas. Now Hayden Crockett with it. Gets a screen from Jensen. Gets it down to her sister, Haley Crockett. She loses the handle as now Getty comes away with it for the Vikings. And then a close foul possibly. The rest letting play out a little bit here. And now driving is Nelson for the Vikings. McQuillan now with it. Goes up once again. Almost gets that one to go. Would have been her 12th point of the ball game. A great game off the bench from Charlie McQuillan. Has 10 points. Abby Richmond thought about a 3. Stripped by McQuillan, but gets it back. Does Richmond now. Lucas with it. Looking inside. Gets a screen from Jensen. Throws up a wild shot. No good. Crockett with the rebound goes up, and that one's good for Hallie Crockett. Her 6th of the night. So now Striley will bring it up for the Vikings. Over to Nelson. Now back to McQuillan. McQuillan looking to drive. Goes up. Scoop layup. No good. Then tipped out to Hayden Crockett. And she'll push in transition. Behind the back dribble once again. Hits off her foot though. Picks up her dribble. Scoop layup. But a travel will be called. So 78-29 is the score on the Mobility Plus. Or excuse me, the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. That was my other sponsor when I was doing all those Lisbon games. A little bit of habit for me. So excuse me to the Patriot Fuels scoreboard here in this one. So now the Vikings in possession. A 3-point shot lined up. Almost goes in for Avery Bartles. Now in transition is Crockett. Gets it over to her teammate. Layup up and good for Elise Sand off the bench, the sophomore. Her first 2 points of the ball game. And Getty now will bring it up. Gets a screen. Goes in for layup. This little speedster. Doesn't get the left-handed layup to go, though, as it's rebounded by Sand. Just under 3 minutes here to go. 78-31 on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. A 47-point lead. As Emma Lucas now will go to the line for 2. This will be her second trip to the free throw line. She was 1 of 2 in her previous trip.
Since we're in the fourth quarter, running clock is in effect with this 78-33 lead.
Once again, just a dominant game from Kindred off of the tip. Just really something you haven't really seen here in Region 1 action. Just really incredible for the Kindred Vikings.
44-point lead, too.
But who's counting? Except for the scorers.
I don't know, but I just want to make sure my math is good. You guys can correct me if you want.
Well,
you're the professor. You're the professor, man.
You got to teach.
Also, I bet Central Cass is counting.
So now the Vikings turn it over there as Nelson will look to push in transition up to Crockett. Left-handed layup, good for Crockett. Hallie Crockett, her 8th point now in the ball game, 4th in the quarter. Getty now with it. Gets past Crockett now to Rohrbeck. Looking to drive, rejected by Nelson. Big time rejection from Morgan Nelson, the senior. Trying to make a lasting impact on the Jaguars here.
That was such a clean block. This is a closer, more competitive game. Oh, baby, that would have been a top 5 plays of the week.
Would have been up there for sure. A good block. We saw a Big block from
DeConte Smith. Good night.
That was a big, big block on a three-point attempt nonetheless, too. Swatted it all the way back to the scorer's table.
And she was playing like it was volleyball, not basketball.
Three-point shot there from the Vikings, left short there off the hands of Avery Amerman. As now the Jaguars will bring it up. That's Addison Russ who brought it up for the Jaguars. Hayden Crockett looking to drive, draw some contact, and she'll go to line for two. So her second trip to the free throw line. Her previous trip, she was 2 of 2. Hayden Crockett has 7 points in the ballgame. Opportunity for her first point or two here in the fourth quarter.
Well, boys, we got a rematch on Thursday. Central Cass and Kindred.
We definitely do.
Two teams you've seen each other already before this season, of course, region rivals. A 1-point game, a 1-point victory for Central Cass. So I bet we can expect the fireworks, especially from Kindred in that game, and Central Cass's top-notch defense, the best in the region.
And also to go ahead onto that, the rematch will also have you be calling the game along with Jacob as the color.
Should be a fun one indeed. Central Cass versus Kindred. Winding seconds here, just under a minute. Getty goes up with the layup. Somehow gets that to go. It doesn't matter who shoots. An incredible play there by Peyton Getty. Her first 2 points of the ball game, and the Kindred bench, along with the Kindred fans, just soaking it all in. An incredible game, gets themselves up to 80 points here in the ball game.
That might have to be in the top 5 plays of the week on YourLoveEvent.com. You can check out those top plays at YourLoveEvent1 on Twitter and on our YouTube page you're currently watching right now.
So how does that block not get a recognition, but that layup does when you're saying about the game?
You really put me on the spot there. What are you, a parent or something?
I am. I'm just making sure because maybe the fans at home are watching are saying the same thing. How does that one get the
recognition? It may sneak in there. I gotta re-elaborate here. I gotta look at what we got this week. It's playoff week, man.
Every game very important. Winding seconds here. The Kindred faithful cheering on their Vikings on a big, big win. 81-37 will be the final score on your Patriot Fuels scoreboard. Once again, a great, great first half and not too shabby of a second half for the Kindred Vikings. 81-37, once again, the final score on the Patriot Fuels scoreboard. We'll step aside here with a recap and some numbers here from the rest of the ball game here. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
There are more than 3.5 million people who work as truck drivers, according to the United States Census Bureau. From the transportation of ag commodities to help feed the world to packages that arrive at our door, and fuel to keep us on the go and warm in our homes. Patriot Fuels is proud to serve these hardworking men and women across North Dakota with clean facilities, great prices, and a friendly staff. Patriot Fuels in Alexander with easy in and out, hot showers, #1 diesel, and fresh food. Milner with hot food options including Cooper's Chicken and Wingman Pizza. Also located in Carrington, Devils Lake, Linton, and Lisbon. Patriot Fuels wishing everyone safe travels.
Hi, my name is Shane Azure. I'm the superintendent of Northwood Public School. We realized that education the last 45 days of school was going to look a little bit differently.
Superintendents in our service area started calling and saying, okay, we're going to an online-based learning system and we have students that don't have internet access. What can we do to connect them?
They were here within a day or two to make sure that our parents and our students were connected.
This was just a small piece that we could do to try and bring some structure back to not only their teachers and schools, but some of their classmates as well.
Making a difference and impacting lives comes together when you study to become a nurse at Lake Region State College. Our nursing program is available in Mayville, Grand Forks, and Devils Lake.
You can pull a great career together right out of the air at Lake Region State College. Our wind energy technology program offers 1- and 2-year courses training wind energy technicians. Be a part of this growing eco-friendly industry. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back into Wahpeton, North Dakota. A great first half there from the Kindred Vikings. Got off to a 56-10 first half lead. We're leading actually 29-0 after that first quarter. Final score once again on the Patriot Fuel scoreboard. Kindred Vikings winning 81-37, and they will now hold a 10-game win streak going into the championship game here in Region 1. A rematch opportunity between Kindred and Central Cass. Should be a good game coming up for you here on Thursday. Your live event will once again have that call. Derek Zimmerman-Geyer and myself, along with Joe Stetz, will be here, and we are very excited for that ball game. Should be a very good basketball game between very good teams. So running through some numbers here. First for the Vikings, leading the way in scoring was Abby Dutcher with 21. Then Casey Berner and Taryn Johnson both with 18. Charlie McQuillan with 10 off the bench. Then Tina Fryer with 6. Cadence Striley with 5 off the bench. And Peyton Getty with that incredible and one shot at the end of the fourth quarter there with 3 points to round up the scoring there for the Vikings. 0 3-pointers on the half, but 6 in that first half for a total of 6 3-pointers in the game for the Vikings. 3 of 5 in the second half from the free throw line for a total of 9 of 15 in the ball game. As for the Northern Cass Jaguars, 3 scorers with 8 points leading the way. Hayden Crockett, Morgan Nelson, and Hallie Crockett, all with 8 points. And then followed by Emma Lucas with 4. And then 3 Jaguars with 2, those being Josie Jensen, Kaylee Treader, and Elise Sand. And then rounding up the scoring with a 1 free throw made for 1 point, Madison Zwetzwig, rounding up that scoring. 2 3-pointers made, 1 off the hands of Hayden Crockett and 1 off the hands of Morgan Nelson in that second half for a total of 3 3-pointers. 5 of 7 from the charity stripe for the Jaguars in that second half. 6 of 9 in total for the Jaguars. So once again, an incredible first half from those Kindred Vikings. We're going to name our Precision Player of the Game. Thinking about upgrading our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game, Thinking about upgrading your planter? Visit RDK Enterprises at their locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, to learn about available rebates and financing. RDK Enterprises, planterdoc.com. Our player of the game will be Abby Dutcher. An incredible game for her. Had all 21 of her points come in those first 3 quarters. Had 13 in that first quarter, which really pushed them out to that big lead. Had a bunch of rebounds, a bunch of steals. I don't know the exact number on it, but just was a force on both ends of the court. 21 points. And, I mean, you have to also give credit to both Casey Berner and Taryn Johnson with 18 points themselves. Casey Berner, the sophomore, had 25 points in their game last night. So coming on strong here in the playoffs for Casey Berner, a welcoming sight. So we will thank you once again for watching our broadcast here between the Northern Cass Jaguars and the Kindred Vikings. We will be back here on Thursday for that Region 1 championship game between the Kindred Vikings and Central Cass. For myself, Derek Zimmerman-Geyer, and Joe Stetz, thank you for watching our production here of YourLiveEvent.com.